Alright, so it's been kind of weirdly raining lately, but I still want to try and get some work done on the 318 to get that build rolling. These rain guards getting some nice use though, which is freaking proper. What I bought them for, which is super nice. And this car just sits. In general, shout out to that. So yeah, those two valves are gone, and all of the rest of the valves are completely bent. Fat freaking gouge in that head casting. So this head is done. One of the two valves that popped off punched a nice hole in cylinder number 4 for the piston. That block, this top end is completely done. So we're going to be M50 B25 swapping the 318. We were going to try and fix the M42 that's in it, but that's not happening. So a while back on the channel, we rebuilt an M50 B25 that we are going to be throwing into this car. Some of you guys who have been following the channel for a little while might recognize the motor, some of you guys might not. De Fuego M50. She's upside down right now, but this is a fully rebuilt M50 B25. New rings, new bearings, decked, honed, all that stuff. As far as modifications go, this is pretty much a full stock engine, aside from a multi-layer steel and MLS head gasket and a set of ARP head bolts. That motor should be good for like 400-ish horsepower with a turbo reliably, which is like perfect. So that being a 318 and that being an M50, we need some conversion parts to make that happen. Not to mention the 318 is an automatic car and I don't want to put an automatic back into it. So that little dime piece right there is a Getrag 260, I want to say. I don't really remember the transmission codes, but that's basically an E36 5-speed Getrag transmission that came in the 318s and the 325s that were manual. So that is a manual transmission. So that muffin is going to get bolted to that muffin, and then that whole thing is going to go into ugly over there. So me and Danny last weekend ran to Ecology to grab a bunch of parts. I was going to film, but you can't really film at Ecology, and we spent a much longer time there than I thought we were going to, and because of that, it was late when we got back, so we didn't have time to film anything. But we got an M50 manifold right here, so Levi brought this over. Me and Danny picked up another M50 manifold. This one has a throttle body and the auto control circuit and some other junk that we need in there. We picked up a power steering bracket, pump bracket thing, an M50 wiring harness, which is Ace, because we need one of those, a 325i sway bar, and a set of 325i calipers. There is one of them. The 325s do have different sway bars and brakes and a couple of other components because the 318 was never designed. The suspension and brakes were never designed to have a 6-cylinder engine in there. So we're going to throw on some calipers, sway bars, make it actually work. So it's going to be more than just like an engine swap. It's going to be like the car's going to be ready for it, you know what I mean? On top of that, what we don't have here, Danny picked up a 413 red label at a pick-apart down in Chula Vista, so that's Ace. And then some other bits and pieces and bolts. I believe these are OBD1 coils. It might not be OBD1 coils. That's an OBD2 coil, OBD1 coil, so yeah, so I got plenty of stuff laying around that we can make this work. So numero uno. Auto trans stuff has got to come out, so that's going to include the pedal assembly and the shifter linkage. Because it's raining, I think I might start working on that stuff. Other things that we need to do before we can pull the motor out, or to pull the motor out. Disconnect all this stuff down there, so the drive shaft, we got to drop the rest of the exhaust system. We got to unbolt the drive shaft, undo all the shifter linkage stuff on the trans. All that fun stuff's got to get ready. We got to pull the rest of the intake manifold stuff out. We got to disconnect power steering stuff. We got to disconnect the wiring harness. We got to pull the ECU out and get some of the other junk ready to go. And we got to do a bunch of top stuff off, and then we got to pull the whole front end off, and then this whole thing can come out. Then the M50 can go in pretty much in a nutshell. We will need to get a 6-cylinder gauge cluster at some point. The one at Ecology, the tachometer was broken, which is kind of shitty. Oh yeah, we gotta put that back on. Figure out what the hell is going on with that too. Alright, let's party. Oh, no lights or anything under here? Dude. Ooh, there we go. Can I get some movement on this? Probably should have taken that off before I started ripping all these bolts out. Like, I just enjoy ripping shit apart. And you can't really do that on shit that you drive every day. Like one of those. You know what I'm saying? Come on, you fucker. Ow. Did it go? It kind of went. Are we free? Almost. Almost free. You're automatic and you make people sad. Got my face. Look at that hole. What is this? I can unplug stuff from here? That's cool. It looks like someone almost like stained the carpet black. Like this wasn't supposed to be black carpet. Damn, what the fuck? What is this? Bro. Oh, this is our fuse wire, bro. Where are you going? Damn. Who are these people that does bunk wiring shit inside of E36s, bro? I don't understand. My sedan has like worse shit than this. Like, who are these people that just come in here and do bunk shit? Alright, those of you guys who are doing your manual swaps and want to know how to get good access to your pedal assembly, I'm going to teach you a little something about Proform. Oh yeah. Alright, so everything's disconnected from the pedal assembly aside from the 4 bolts that hold the pedal assembly through the firewall pretty much. And you can actually get to all of these with a really long extension. Alright, auto brake pedal assembly's out. I don't have the manual pedal assembly yet, sadly. Otherwise I would kind of put that in, but I think we're going to hold off on that. Because before we put the new pedal assembly in, we have to run all these slave lines and clutch lines and all that fun stuff. And for those of you guys who have done the manual swap, you know how much fun that is. And it is significantly easier without all that stuff there. Running clutch lines without a motor in the engine bay is like so easy, it's not even funny. So we're gonna wait to do all that fun stuff until this ugly duckling comes out. Because there are a lot of nice things in here that we actually can reuse. I believe the body control harness is the same. So the M50 harness will pretty much just replace that and just bolt right in here and everything should work. So that's super cool. I think there are going to be some pretty fun stuff to this build, because not only is this an M50 swap, a 318 M50 6-cylinder swap, but it's also a manual swap at the same time. I don't know if any of you guys out there have automatic 318s that you would like to put a straight 6 manual in, because if you do, then this video series should definitely have some nice stuff in it. So I kind of have a plan of attack on how we're going to do this, but we're going to see. Should be fun. What are you? Oh, this is you. Alright. And then... the fuck was that? This relay boxes. So these things have little tabs down there. And if you pull out on the tab and up on the relay, I think it should come out. Out and up. Bitchin', baby. Alright, so that side of the harness is disconnected. We've got to take that ground off. This boy. Here's the question. Can I pop that off without having to drop the computer? Ooh. And there's our DME boy. Ooh. Nice. So we know what that belongs to, so it doesn't get mixed around with the other DMEs I got laying around here. So I believe that's all the wires on that side. Now if we can pop that. I should be able to drop the main harness from up here. Okay. So that's loose. Ooh, all right. So that means our harness can come out with the long block. That's nice. So I'm gonna call it for the solo Cheeto sesh. Made decent progress. We got the whole wiring harness disconnected. There's still a handful of things in the engine bay that need to be disconnected. The AC needs to go. We got to disconnect some power steering stuff. We need to get the radiator, all that junk out. And then we can start working on drivetrain stuff, getting the drive shaft out, the rest of the exhaust system out, like little cables and wires that connect the transmission, all that stuff. And then this lump will be just about ready to come out. So the whole harness is off from the chassis, and we got interior gutted. So pedal assembly's out and the shifter's out, which is ace. So I can't really do anything interior wise until we get that motor out to run the clutch lines. And I still need to get parts for it. So there's still like, a lot of this is probably just gonna end up me waiting for parts, which is kind of like most builds anyway. So Cheeto progressed. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you guys so much for watching. Keep it fresh, and I'll see you guys later.
We are dreaming in does. Search but you stay lost. We are reaching for the stars, but we're making this too hard.